The Houston Rockets are loaded with talent. After falling short of a play-in berth last season, the Rockets Summer League team shows there's a lot of young reinforcements coming. Reed Sheppard and Cam Whitmore were both college stars and top prospects, and they have been putting on a show in Summer League. The Rockets also have 22-year-old Jalen Green and 21-year-olds Jabari Smith Jr., Amin Thompson, and Alfred Sengun, who averaged 21 points and 9 rebounds last season. They also have 23-year-old Tari Eason, who is a potential defensive ace. The Rockets are finessing the NBA. They have built one of the most impressive young cores in the NBA, and I can definitely see this team taking off this season. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Houston Rockets and how they have put together a very enticing squad. If y'all can do me a solid favor, please hit a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more Rockets and NBA content just like this. The most encouraging part of Vegas Summer League is the chemistry we've seen between Sheppard and Whitmore. They have the potential to be an absolute dominant duo from off the bench for the Rockets this season. Reed Sheppard is just flat out special. I know it's just Summer League, but this kid looks like he's going to really help this Rockets offense. He scored 23 points with 5 assists and 3 blocks while shooting 9 for 17 from the field and 4 for 6 from deep in his Summer League debut. He then put up 22.6 rebounds, 7 assists, an incredible 5 steals and 1 block in his second game, and then 15 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals in his third game. Outside of shooting, Sheppard also did a great job in the mid-range and attacking the basket. On the other side of the ball, Sheppard's quick bursts allowed him to pick off passes on the wing. He has the potential to be one of the better two-way players in the league based on these performances. And Sheppard, I mean, he looks like he's going to have a strong chance to win Rookie of the Year. Simply put, Sheppard has looked like he's overqualified for Summer League. And Sheppard, he is going to help this Rockets offense because one of the Rockets' biggest struggles last season was their three-point shooting, and the addition of Sheppard is going to improve that. The Rockets finished the year ranked 23rd in three-point shooting, and Sheppard will be able to raise this number by shooting a high volume and a high percentage from three, which he's very well capable of doing. Sheppard is also a very underrated defensive player as he averaged 2.5 steals as well as 0.7 blocks a game. You look at Reed Sheppard, guys, he could end up being a franchise starting guard for this Houston team. And then going back to Whitmore, I mean, he has looked incredible as well. Whitmore burst onto the scene in Summer League last season, and you look at his game, he might be the most talented pure offensive player on this Rocket squad. We only saw glimpses of his physical gifts and raw scoring ability last season, but I think that's a sign of things to come. I think Whitmore is going to be ready to take a big jump this season. He's definitely got the raw talent to also become something special. And you look at this Rockets team, guys. I mean, many people criticized the Rockets last offseason for paying Fred VanVleet and Dylan Brooks those large contracts, but the Rockets, they needed to spend their money, and I like the fact that they brought in VanVleet and Brooks because these are going to be valuable teachers to these young players, and they're going to be the bridge gap before some of these younger players that I've talked about are good enough to start on this team. And you look at what the Rockets have built, I think they are going to be a very intriguing team for the 2024-2025 season, because let's not forget, they started the year 27-35, but then they ended up going 14-6 to end the year, which included an 11-game winning streak. And during that stretch, we really saw Jalen Green look like a superstar. He cemented himself during that stretch as the future of this franchise alongside a player like Alfred Sengun, who remains one of the game's top young players. So the Rockets, going into next season, you're going to have a better version of Jalen Green. You're going to have a better version of Alfred Sengun. And they're also going to have, you know, young studs like Jabari Smith Jr., Amin Thompson, Cam Whitmore, Tari Eason. Now you're adding Reed Sheppard into the mix. All of these players are going to have an important role on this Rockets team, and they should see some nice minutes. And you look at the Rockets, they have some really nice depth. When I look at this Rockets team, guys, there's a similar vibe I get when comparing them to the OKC Thunder team that went into last season. Now, I'm not saying that the Rockets are going to have the same type of leap that OKC just had, but same type of idea where the Rockets have a bunch of young talent, and if they boom at the same time, this team can take a significant step forward. Because right now, you're looking at a very promising Rockets rotation. I think the starters are going to be, VanVleet, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Jabari Smith, Alfred Sengun. And then the bench is looking very, very nice. I mean, Reed Shepherd, he's going to be the backup to Van Vliet. You're going to have Cam Whitmore, Tari Eason, Amin Thompson, Steven Adams, I thought was a huge addition for this team. Just another solid veteran presence in that locker room. So when I look at this Rockets team, it's a nice blend of veteran players who know how to win. Van Vliet, he's won a championship. Dylan Brooks, we know he can show up in big games. Steven Adams has a lot of experience under his belt. And then you mix that with these young studs, these young players who I think are just scratching the surface. All of these young players have tremendous upside. And you just look at the Rockets bringing in Reed Shepherd. I mean, you're talking about a guy who should have gone number one. I think we're going to say that in a couple years from now, probably as quickly as next year, where if you do a redraft, Reed Shepherd goes number one. And he is just going to be such a deadly force from off that bench. You're going to have Cam Whitmore in his second season. Eason has shown a lot of promise. Thompson, I mean, he's shown that he could potentially start soon. And I think we're going to see some of those bench rotation pieces shine to the point where it's like, man, are these guys going to be able to start? You know, Reed Shepherd is another guy that comes to mind. If he continues to pan out well, develop well, I mean, that's a future starter on this team. So the Rockets, they have one of the most fun, just interesting teams, I think, in the Western Conference that can do some really big things. I mean, the Western Conference is tough. Let's make no mistake about it. But if this team finds a way to put it all together, they can fight their way into the playoffs. I think this Houston Rockets team can very well be one of those teams that makes a leap. Because usually, you know, in the NBA, there's one or two teams, one in the East, a couple in the West, maybe even one in the West, that takes that jump. And the Houston Rockets might be due. I really like the squad. It is looking really, really solid. And the pieces have come together nicely. So the Rockets, again, they ended last season strong. Let's see if they can carry that momentum into this season. And we'll see if this nice blend of talent comes together for them. And if they're able to surprise a lot of people and turn heads this season. So the Rockets, they have one of the more ideal situations in the NBA. It's not like some of these other rebuilding teams that have been stuck at the bottom for a while. They're adding different players that have unique skill sets and different skill sets. And these skill sets, I think, complement each other really, really well. So that's the key here. So let me know your thoughts to this Rockets team, guys. How you feeling, Rockets fans? What do you think the Rockets can accomplish this season? Let me know your thoughts down below. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. That is it for me. It's Lucas signing off. Thanks so much for watching. I will catch you all again in the next video.